Hi there, I'm back again, Cowboy Ron and Happy Trails of the West. And the other day I was doing some news briefs. I enjoy doing them very much, but my battery in my camera went dead halfway during the recording session. I'm still learning how to do this. I got me a little Sony camera, I really like it. I want to push a little bit going on my blog site, cowboyron.com. Goes and evaluate about 25 different categories there. And if you like Western history, I have Cowboys and Sidekicks. That's a great site. I got both the main characters in the B movies and the sidekicks. And under my favorite heroes, we see a lot of great people, cowboy stars, Audie Murphy, etc. What's the other category I like? Things that make my day, and that's in about 2 or 3 different subcategories. It'll be bumper stickers that make my day, for example. If you don't like the way I'm driving, get off the sidewalk. Oh, print commercials. I like going into print commercials. That'll be things like a washing machine you could have bought in 1950, a deluxe model washing machine that had an electric wringer to it. And songs that make my day, I go back as far as some of Jimmy Cagney's song and dance routines. You always think of him as a gangster. And also go back to Hal Jolson. And, really a good one on there is Pop Stoneman, the Stoneman family. We were on autography. Pop Stoneman got started around in the 15s or 1920. Got paid $5-10. You have to drive to Edison Company up in New Jersey to publish it. And one of the songs that propelled him into stardom back in those days was it was a great day when the great ship Titanic went down. And I've actually listened to him perform that when I was a kid. I used to go to a lounge up by the bus station in Washington, D.C. on 12th New York Avenue, Rand's. And him and his daughters would perform there. My blog site, I need more subscribers, and it's easy to get on there. It's just Cowboy Ron on my, I meant to say my YouTube site, Cowboy Ron. I do need some subscribers. I need some input. I'm learning. It's not very professional right now, but I'm having just as much fun as the professionals are. And that's really all that matters at the end of the day is enjoying your work. But I wanted to go a bit about news. The other day I got into this bad drugs coming across the border, fentanyl. And now in 2 or 3 days, the border is going to really be wide open. And it looks like so many of the liberal politicians, they're not able to abort as many people as they were. And now I guess they're just letting American kids kill themselves. I hope I'm wrong on that, but the results are the same. If you let drug dealers into our country selling drugs that can wipe out a whole generation of people, it needs to be stopped. And if you're pretending it's not happening, you're either incompetent or you're part of the problem, not the solution. Now, Paul Pelosi's attacker, DePage, also targeted Tom Hanks and Gavin Newsom, Hunter Biden. The guy is sick. Violence is wrong no matter where you're coming from. He is presumed innocent, and I certainly presume him innocent, but if found guilty, he needs to go to jail as long as it takes to guarantee society, when he's reintroduced into the population, that he will be a productive member and not a killer. The Washington Post announced that they got a big, massive layoff. They had a lot of uproar there. And, newsprint, no money, no Buck Rogers, no Bucks, no Buck Rogers. And newsprint is under attack by people who can get the internet news quickly. You can go to Fox, CNN, NBC, and they can pick out news that suits their pistol, that fits their pistol. I think we can say that the American people have had it with news media presenting their opinion as news. An opinion is only opinion. It's like a rectum. Everybody has one. Opinions are important, but we have the right to know if we're getting an opinion or if we're getting news, and they feel short of. Now, truckers are bracing for heavy-duty engine emissions standards. It's already pretty hard. As you know, for 40-some years, I drove a tour bus in Washington, D.C. I can remember when the low-sack injectors came out. And then for the last 7 years, I've been an owner-operator with a major trucking company. And these emission things are good to some extent. For example, some years ago, I crossed the Mississippi River down in Covington, Tennessee in a small airplane I owned, a Cessna 150. And I was at 1,400 feet. And I remember looking down at that river, it felt like that Mississippi was going to suck me under. But I was wanting to get back to I-40, and I had to go on a southwest heading. And I was always a nervous pilot. If I didn't see something I could identify, I started getting a little bit squirmy in the cockpit. Excuse me. But I got within about 20 miles of I-40, and I could see 5, 6 black puffs of smoke. And right away I knew that was a line of tractor trailers going west on I-40. Now, recently, since we have these new emissions and with depth, and what that is a system where your emissions is trapped in a wet filter type of thing. And every so often it has to be burned out. Your truck will go up to 900 degrees. You cannot park your truck over sagebrush or grass. But I can say this, you don't see black smoke coming from trucks. And my opinion is, do we need to be breathing black smoke? I think not. My father died from emphysema, so I have an appreciation of keeping our lungs healthy. But these depth systems that they have in these trucks are always causing us a problem, going back to the Kenworth dealers. And that's what I had, was a Kenworth truck. You don't go in there and come out unless you spend $1,000. So I don't think we need to make it any more complicated until we get the systems working properly so the drivers can make a few dollars when they go out and work 70, 80 hours a week. Yeah, now the Democrats are trying to spend money before they go out of office in a couple more weeks, and with all the social programs. That is wrong. The American people have spoken. We've elected a new Congress, slightly headed by the Republicans. So the new Congress should be the ones to set the spending agenda for the next couple of years. That's Congress's role, was to declare war, levy taxes, and introduce bills. So the Democrats, they've done enough of damage. So I think they should go home, pick up their toys, and go to bed. And that's my opinion, and that's the way I see it. President Biden's head honchos, Sam Brighton's smug, was released after the bill was set at $15,000. Now, understand how a bail system works. That means he only had to put $1,500. So basically, a janitor could come up with that. Again, he is entitled to the presumption of innocence. Stealing suitcases, no matter what has in it, is wrong. But again, look at the way the man was dressed. No matter whether he's gay or straight. As a truck driver, I would not be allowed to show up for work looking like that, never mind a representative of the United States government. If the president don't start selecting people by their quality to do the work, to qualifications to do the work, instead of buying, we want so many men in there, so many women, so many whites, so many blacks, so many gays, he's never going to have an effective administration. Again, my opinion, You select the people by their qualifications and experience, track records. That way you can make an intelligent decision. You might knock Donald Trump. He didn't always have great manners. I'll be the first to admit that, and I voted for him twice. But he did take the best man to do the job, and people that would work more than 8 to 10 hours a day. He liked being surrounded by workaholics. And he led by example. He was a hard worker. Now, some of the Democrats have become independents. The lady from Arizona, Semina, I'm horrible on pronouncing names. By most part, that's not going to change everything. Republican senator votes for Democrat bills. Democrat senators vote for Republican bills. Independents will do the same thing. But I do think it sends a message to the management of the Democratic Party that enough is enough and too much is a waste. That the American people are fed up with stupid ideas. No matter how passionate you are, if you make a stupid statement, even though you say it 3,000 times, it's still a stupid statement. And I'm probably I could be the president of stupid statement clubs. And President Biden's student loan forgiveness program is back in the courts again. And I will admit we should look at it, but I don't see how we can justify forgiving one person $30,000 loan, $40,000 loan, when other people worked and paid it off. I understand if there's a hardship, or if there's a reason that the payments can't be made, then there's no good reason to keep on letting the bill accumulate. But the farthest I would be, and this is again my opinion, I would go back and look at, and I've only taken one course in college, I would go back and look at the courses that they took. If they got value for these courses, say if it was a grammar course or mathematics, any courses that you would have to take no matter what your principal subjects were, then that shouldn't be forgiven. But young people, 18 years old, paying money to get a license on how to be a tiddlywink coach, when there's no way at all that you're going to be able to sustain a living, pay your bills, and pay the loan back, I think we should go back and look at the universities that sold people this. It was a fraudulent sale. And I think we should redress that by making the universities cough up some of the money. They got the money, more often, quite often, for selling a product that was defective. So, they need to go back and pony up some of the money. And Russia, again, has got an offensive going on, and Ukrainians are doing good. If you count killing people, doing good. It'd be nice when it's over with, because the longer this goes on, the more countries there's going to be drawn into it. And we don't want to look at World War III again. World War III. First World War, 19 million people died. Second World War, 49 million died. It's still counting. If you draw a line out, a graph, going up from 1919 up to 2022, 100 years later, you're looking at maybe 1.5 billion people being killed. And that's not a small number. Donald Trump's, one of his organizations got fined $4,000 for not cooperating with an investigation. And again, the Democrats are just not very bright. $4,000 to have your name go in every newspaper in the United States, on television and radio. If he had to buy that kind of exposure, you'd be talking maybe $1 million. And like if you read some of Donald Trump's books, he says you always prefer good publicity. But this is important. Bad publicity is better than no publicity at all, as long as they spell your name correctly. Weinstein's jury went on the news the other day, having reached a verdict now on his rape trials, and they've been out for 9 days. I think on a criminal trial, if one person votes innocent, then it's basically a hung jury. And it's not too bad to get a hung jury when you got money. Back in the old days, I'll tell you a little bit, because I like Western history, Temple Houston, the son of Sam Houston, he also liked to drink. But he had a man come in and killed a man in a barroom fight. And when they sat down and discussing money, he says, Temple, he says, how much it would cost to get me off? And Temple looked at him, he said, well, that depends. Are you going to pay for the witnesses, or am I going to pay for them? A little bit of Western humor there. Japan now has visited Taiwan to pledge military support. In other words, with the Biden administration being such a weak link, it's inviting mischief from evildoers. But again, here's another country coming in. We have a treaty with Taiwan, treaty with Japan. Japan has one with half a dozen countries. Taiwan has half a dozen, 24 countries. And it's so easy to get World War III started. Now, Oregon courts blocks a new gun law. Now, again, Oregon is a liberal state, beautiful state. I love driving up there in the summer. But they're getting cagey about the laws, that you have to go pay so much money to take lessons on how to shoot and how to do this, and get licenses here and waiting for approval. And the court's seen through it and put that on hold, basically striking it down. These laws are getting to be crazy, you know, like a hate law. Well, you shouldn't hate anybody. But nowadays, if somebody was to break into my house, God forbid that would happen, if I had to shoot them and kill them, well, I have to hire 2 lawyers. I have to hire one lawyer to show that it was justifiable homicide, I had no other options. And that's a good law. You can't shoot people because for any small reason. You can only shoot somebody legally and morally if it's to save your life or the life of your family. And the other law is I would have to hire another lawyer to demonstrate in a court of law that I actually loved the person that I shot. And that's just a little humor here on my part this morning. Hope you like what I put out. Remember, I need some subscribers on my YouTube site, Cowboy Ron, and my blog site, which really has a lot more of this information in detail. Go to cowboyron.com, which is hosted by GoDaddy. Until next time, this is Cowboy Ron saying happy trails. Hope you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live.